Well, it's been longer than 30 seconds, which means there's another massive update in the ongoing Xbox saga surrounding the slightly on fire conditions over behind at Xbox HQ. Now, breaking news, this comes from our own Dan Durkin, but it'll also come from all of you who have been part of Xbox Game Pass. Microsoft are getting out there and emailing every single person to try and update them on the terms and conditions of the Xbox Game Pass service. And to read this statement out, because I haven't got this. I cancelled my subscription, which meant that I didn't get this follow-up thing. However, the most recent email reads, "Recently, you may have heard about changes to the price of Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. At this time, these increases will only affect new purchases and will not affect your current subscription for the market in which you reside, as long as you are on an auto-recurring plan. Should you choose to cancel your plan and repurchase, you will be charged at the new current rate. If for any reason there may be changes to your existing account, we will notify you at least 60 days in advance, and you will have the option to cancel or change your subscription plan at any time." Now, this feels like their walk back of everything that's been going on. Like, the mileage may vary on the audience side, on your side. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Is this enough of a salve? Is this enough of a bomb to the price hike that was announced last week? Because they've been going through absolute hell since they first mentioned the idea of charging more for Game Pass subscriptions. Also, while we're talking about subscription services, let me plug the NordVPN subscription that we have running on What Culture Gaming.
Want to stay safe online and save big? Well, now you can. Right now, you can get up to 76% off NordVPN with 3 months free, and all you've got to do is click the link in the description or scan the QR code that's on screen right now to get yourself signed up.
And the initial idea was that they were going to be price hiking, the top tier, the Game Pass Ultimate tier, was going to be going up in America from $20 to $30. In the UK, it was going to be going up from £15 to £23, $22.99. And that was met with just outright, what the hell are you guys thinking? We're not getting as many games a month as you initially said that we would, especially when it comes to the actual overall first-party quality or anything first-party at all, leading to waves and waves of people cancelling their subscriptions. It made me do a triple take in regards to how much value I've actually got out of Game Pass across the last few years. And thinking, well, other than Claire Obscure this year, there's not been that much where I've been like, oh, this is incredible. Claire Obscure is phenomenal, but especially on the first-party front, that idea of what we were all buying Game Pass for, I don't feel like that, fully materialized, and I cancelled my subscription. And many other people did. A lot of people flocked to the Microsoft website to cancel their Game Pass subscription, so much so that the servers crashed. And that was at the end of last week. And then we went into a weekend of just damage control and back and forth bits and pieces being leaked by different insiders, anonymous sources. You also had a big old write-up on Bloomberg from Jason Schreier talking about how all of this is coming from Amy Hood over at Microsoft, the CFO, who apparently asked the Microsoft division to come up with a lot more revenue after losing $300 million on Call of Duty, because they obviously acquired Activision Blizzard, and then they put Call of Duty on Game Pass, which meant that all of those unit sales didn't go through full price. They was part of the subscription. That then led to them losing $300 million overall, which from the top down, that was Microsoft saying, what the hell are you guys doing? You need to make up this money. And that's assumedly why it all trickled through to being this new monthly price, which was the thing that everybody got annoyed by. And so now we have this new statement of them saying, oh, it's only going to apply to new people. So assumedly, if you're already a Game Pass subscriber, you can continue on the model that you already had. The thing that's interesting, the wrinkle, is if they get back in touch with everybody who was cancelled, like the likes of myself, and say, hey, just to let you know, you can, if you want, keep your old price. Because, at least for me, as I'm recording this, I'm still within the time period before I get to the day that it actually expires. I've got like 2 days or something before it actually expires, because you always pay for a month in advance or whatever. And so that'll be interesting, because this potentially doesn't solve anything if thousands of people cancelled their Game Pass subscriptions, only to be told, hey, you could have kept the old price, but it's too late for you now. I mean, the statement literally says if you reapply, you'll be charged the new price. So it's fascinating stuff. But at the same time, I feel like, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, it must be pretty damn hard running the ship over there at the minute, with all the different wants and whims of the various people bearing down on you from Microsoft. But at the same time, it is a position that they've got themselves into. It's not like everybody goes around throwing $70 billion at different companies to acquire them, thereby creating this demand to recoup that revenue from the bosses that you got the money from in the first place. So there is that. Also alongside this, and it started happening Again, across the weekend, various retailers are pulling Xbox from their store. We've got Costco, we've got Walmart. Costco officially saying that they are just not going to be stocking Xboxes anymore. Walmart, people have been going into Walmarts, taking photos of Xbox, the shelving units and the promotional stands, showing that Walmart are just putting Nintendo Switch games on there instead, or DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, whatever, anything other than Xbox games or other than Xbox consoles. I know there's a clearance sales doing the rounds as well. It just seems like in general that, Xbox, to their own, planning, are getting out of the hardware game, are getting out of the physical game. They've pushed xCloud so much that at this point, it was only going to take a certain amount of time before retailers went, well, you're not going to do right by us, so we'll not do right by you, and we will get rid of these Xbox consoles because they're not selling very well anyway, and they haven't been for the last few years. And another part of this whole thing, again, happened over the weekend, with a renowned leaker getting out there saying that future Xbox plans were apparently cancelled altogether. The idea that the next main Xbox, the next-gen system, that's been cancelled. That was such a massive talking point that Microsoft immediately responded to it. It took them a little bit longer to do this Game Pass response, but they got out there. It was like immediately. It was like late Sunday afternoon, and said, "Don't worry, we're still investing in first-party Xbox consoles." And they recommended that people go check out the AMD, announcement that they put out with that company, as well as reaffirmation as that's what they're going to be doing going forward. But as many people have said, including our own Josh Brown on the video that me and him shot just yesterday, and on the short video that we put out, no one really trusts what they say. Not anymore. They've kind of gone back and forward on too many different ideas, whether it be the idea of Forza being an exclusive, then it goes multi-platform, or, the price hikes, the idea that, Game Pass wouldn't be increasing in price. That was something Phil Spencer said when they were going through all the Activision acquisition stuff. It was like, this acquisition won't affect Game Pass pricing. It won't affect that stuff. And it has done, we're only a couple of years removed from that deal being finalized. And here we are talking about multiple price hikes on the console side alongside Game Pass going up, and then them having to try and walk that line of okay, what can we stick to? What can we get away with? How do we recoup the money that we have lost? But not only the money that they have lost, the money that they invested buying up all of these studios and not knowing what the hell to do with them. Because after the Activision Blizzard acquisition went through, and it's not like it was only this acquisition, Microsoft/Xbox, Microsoft Gaming have bought a ton of studios, including Double Fine and everybody else. And not Double Fine necessarily, but various different studios have suffered layoffs in the wake of that. With Matt Booty, you've got the top three at Xbox: Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, Sarah Bond. Matt Booty just saying that they took on too many studios, that he felt like he was not enough butter spread over too much bread or something, and that it resulted in different layoffs and cancelled projects like Perfect Dark and things like that. And it's just what are you guys doing? Growth for the sake of growth shouldn't be consuming stuff. It's just this really gross, metastasized version of what an actual growth model could be, or an acquisitional model could be, if it was handled in a far healthier way. And it is just one of those things that we've seen play out in real time. And Microsoft are very much on the back foot right now, trying to do right by, the Xbox community, the people who have stuck by them for 20 plus years at this point, to try and just keep you around. Whether that's too late or not, though, we'll just have to wait and see.